Hello everyone, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today, I'm here to talk about something that was just broken. Some breaking news. It was just broken. Now, I'm gonna caveat this in the beginning because it's gonna get a little bit raw for me because this is just gonna be something for me. Reportedly by comicbook.com, by IGN, and multiple, big sources, Deadline, all these big sources, reportedly, Sony has decided to take Spider-Man out of the MCU. They have decided, some people have suggested this as well. Now, like I said, all of this is up in the air. Disney / Marvel and Sony haven't come out and talked about it one way or the other yet. There hasn't been confirmation. The only thing that I can confirm is that they are having conversations about the contract, but that's not, big news. We all knew that the Spider-Man contract that Sony signed with Marvel MCU / Disney was for, I believe, 6-movie deal. It was Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and the last untitled third Spider-Man movie. Now, that was the contract, and we all knew that they were going to work the contract out, and everyone, pretty much kind of said that depends on how financially successful the movies are. Well, the movies have been ridiculously successful. Spider-Man Homecoming is the second highest grossing Spider-Man movie. Spider-Man Far From Home is the highest grossing Sony film. And all of that is thanks to him being a part of the MCU. Because before then, Spider-Man, it was getting diminishing returns. Now, the movies were still making money, but they weren't making anywhere near as much Sony wanted. I believe the last completely Sony movie was Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2, and that made somewhere in the $700 million range, in the mid $700 million range. But Sony was expecting that to be $1 billion movie, so they were off by nearly $200 million of what they wanted it to be. So even though the movie was technically successful, they were nowhere near what they wanted to be. The scores were getting destroyed. And Disney came in, and Disney / Kevin Feige and Marvel MCU is getting so big, came in and said, what if we helped you out with that? It could be beneficial for both of us. And the deal basically went, Sony gets all of the financial profits, from the actual movie. They get all the profits from the standalone movies, and Marvel / Disney basically gets the profit off the and they split, and they share out the different prices of the merchandising. I think Disney probably gets most of the merchandising, and Sony gets the DVD sales and whatnot. But and it's been a success. Like I said, both of those movies have been some of the highest grossing movies. Both of those movies are above 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and have A cinema scores. So both of those movies have been enjoyed, been successful. Spider-Man has integrated himself into the MCU phenomenally. He had this beautiful relationship with Tony Stark. He is so integrated into the MCU. All of his friends are integrated in the MCU. His school's integrated in the MCU. He is so ingrained. And after watching Spider-Man Far From Home, it became obvious to anyone watching it that Marvel / the MCU, they were setting Spider-Man up to be a big figure in the MCU for years to come, to perhaps in another 10 years from now be someone sacrificing himself and have another emotional moment, and you have all that history with them. And the MCU was going places. It had this amazing cliffhanger ending in Spider-Man Far From Home that set up his third movie phenomenally. You wonder how he's going to get stuff out of the situation. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it. And everything looked like it was going great. And now I had debates with people, about Venom. And I said, which now I feel like I may end up being right, I said that Venom, if Venom is successful, Sony is gonna grow thinking that it was because of them, and they're gonna take Spider-Man back because they're gonna feel like they don't need Marvel. Everyone else kept telling me that no, if Venom fails, they're gonna take him back. And I kept saying that doesn't make any sense to me. If Venom fails, the only thing that's working is them with Disney and them with the MCU, so they're not gonna fuck with that. But Venom did great. And you know what? After Venom did great, I accepted that Venom did great. I hated Venom, but I accepted that the movie did great. See, I'm not one of those people who are going to tell you have the wrong opinion. I said I disagreed. I think it's bad for I think it's bad for superhero movies, and I think this is bad for Spider-Man's future. Disagreed. The movie did great. So, I'm like, okay. So then, like a actual fan, I said, okay, it did great. There's nothing I can change about that. I'm gonna just hope that you guys are right, and that Sony's like, we don't need Spider-Man, so we can just leave him to the Marvel Cinematic Universe to do what they want to keep, making it successful. So then we're profiting from both sides. And then today, it's been reported that they want to take Spider-Man out of the MCU, and reportedly because they feel like they no longer need Marvel. They feel like they don't need Kevin Feige. They feel like they'll be okay without them. And it's been reported multiple times, and it just comes off like the most arrogant, idiotic fucking thing I've ever heard. So you guys have fucked up 2 Spider-Man trilogies. 2! And Marvel gets it right. Marvel's getting it right. People are enjoying it. Not everyone enjoying it, but really the people who aren't enjoying Spider-Man are the hardcore Spider-Man people who are ridiculously attached to his mythos and to the the animated series and the original comic book things. Because but for people who are open-minded and for the newer generation, they love this new version of Spider-Man. I love this new version of Spider-Man. Tom Holland is great. He's had some of the best villains, some of the best, visuals in the in the Spider-Man world. I mean, literally, the car scene in Spider-Man Homecoming and the illusion scene in Spider-Man Far From Home are literally some of the best scenes in the comic books. And and these 2 movies have given us that. And literally, with Spider-Man in the MCU, you had this security blanket. You knew things were going to work out. You knew it was good. And I was just like, to me, I just feel like it's so idiotic of Sony. They literally come off like brats. That's what they come off like. Like, literally, they're literally thinking to themselves. And this is, like I said, these are the reports. And this is what pisses me off the most about this, is that when you were in need, when your company was fluttering, your company's still fluttering because the only successful movie you guys really had this year was Spider-Man Far From Home. Guess why it was a success? Because he was in the MCU. And somehow you guys have talked yourself into believing that it's because you are the reason that movie made over $1 billion. And like I said, it's all because of Venom. It's all because of Venom. I hated Venom. I had a rant video literally about Venom, and I said these things, and I didn't post it up because I didn't want to dwell on it, because I was like, you know what? I don't care about Venom. As long as he's not affecting Spider-Man. I'm sad that I'm not going to be able to get Venom in the MCU, but it's cool. He's not affecting Spider-Man. He's not affecting the MCU. Sony can make as many fucking stupid movies as they want to, as long as they don't do this. This was literally my only caveat. As long as you guys don't do this. Now, I am just so... I'm trying to keep my voice down because I don't want to scream into this mic, but I am so pissed off about this because I'm just like, well, why the fuck should I care about the 3rd Spider-Man movie? So the MCU's going to get to make that movie, but basically they're going to have to either kill him, they're going to have to find a way to write him out or kill him or something, which is... You know how insanely difficult that is to do with what they've already done? He's so integrated into the MCU. He's friends with he's buddies with Happy Hogan. He was pretty much Tony Stark's apprentice. Literally, he knows all these superheroes. They're integrated into his world. Like, how are you supposed to just write him out to never show back up again? Like, how do you even do that? And it's just like, and this is a shitty situation to be in. We should be sitting here celebrating Spider-Man and celebrating the fact that he has this future in the MCU and wondering when is his 3rd movie coming out. But now, all I can think about is, why do I care about his 3rd movie? They're going to just, when I know it's going to end with them somehow writing him out. And it's just going to be ridiculous. And then they're going to recast him because they probably can't, because I don't know if they can use Tom Holland, because I think Tom Holland's contract is over with. So they're going to recast again. They're going to just do the same shit they've been doing. They're probably going to just, you know what they're going to do? You know what Sony's going to do? They're going to try to fucking they're going to try to counter being like, we're bringing Sam Raimi back and Tobey Maguire, we're making Spider-Man 4. And I'm just be like, man, fuck you guys. Like, I'm done with Sony. And you know what? I was willing to cut them slack. I hated Venom. I'm not looking for the Morbius with fucking Jared Leto. But you know what? Okay. I was like, you know what? I'll watch the movies. You know why? Because as long as I got Spider-Man in the MCU and they're doing good work with him in the MCU, I'm okay. I can deal with this shit. I can deal with this shit because this is good. Now I'm like, this is ridiculous. Now, like I said at the beginning, perhaps they'll work it out because that's what, like, it's caveated. It's caveated because they're in talks and that's what is coming out. But for all we know, they'll come back and go, you know what? We'll work it out. That's what I'm thinking. Because, like, from what I saw, it said it's financial. Which, fair point, which I can see why Marvel would try to get more financial, comebacks for a Spider-Man movie, since these movies are only making this kind of money because of their involvement, because of the MCU's involvement. That movie wouldn't have made $1 billion if it was just Amazing Spider-Man 3. You know what I mean? Love Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse ain't making $1 billion. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, you guys are some arrogant bastards. You forgot. You somehow talked yourself into thinking that you're the reason that these movies are successful. That's what happened. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. And when I saw the report that Kevin Feige won't be involved anymore, when I saw the report that Spider-Man will be out of the MCU, I'm like, why am I watching Spider-Man? Now I see a whole bunch of other Spider-Man hardcores going, well, I'll still watch it. It'll still be good. It doesn't all have to be. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. Guys like you are the reason it's getting taken out of the MCU. Fuck you. You guys who went to support that ridiculous, idiotic, stupid movie called Venom. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. And you know what? It's all you guys' fault why this movie is why Spider-Man is getting taken out of the MCU. Because you movie supported that idiotic thing for the sake of it being different, because that's all anyone ever came at me with that movie for. Whenever I met someone who liked that movie Venom, I'd ask them about it and be like, why did you like that movie? And they'd be just like, oh, well, just because it's different. I'm like, well, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? I mean, hell, I could color myself purple and go running down the road. That's different. Doesn't mean it's a fucking good thing. That's the thing that just pissed me off about that movie. And I'm just like, it's stupid, it's bad, and it made so much money that it emboldened Sony to do this ridiculous thing. I hope Disney can work this out. Maybe Disney will have to cater, but that's the thing. This ain't gonna work out because Disney/Marvel doesn't have to cater to Sony. They were doing fine before Spider-Man ever got there. So it's one of those fucked up scenarios where now you know why they didn't announce Spider-Man at Comic-Con. Now you know why they didn't put him on there, because they're just trying to work out this deal, and it's just so fucking depressing, man. Had all these ideas, all these thoughts of how it was gonna go, and now it's just like, who cares? We're gonna get the same story over again that you hardcoreists want. We're gonna get them being, back to the basics. We're gonna get super old Aunt May back. We're gonna get super white Mary Jane, hot chick next door. We're gonna get that back. We're gonna get Harry Osborn back. We're gonna see Uncle Ben die again. We're gonna just do the same shit all over again so you guys can be happy. And you know what? It's gonna be miserable because there's nothing he can do either. Even if Sony fails, even if they fail and the movies tank, what is the MCU supposed to do? Because they just killed him off or grounded his character, so they can't just randomly bring him back when Sony comes back to the playing board. It's just miserable. It's a miserable fucking day. Anyways, thank you for joining me on Comic Game Movie Show. Comment below. Please remember to like and subscribe. And comment below. Tell me what you think about this whole Spider-Man being taken back by Sony thing. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's asinine. I think someone in Sony needs to be drug tested. Or maybe they are just that arrogant. I mean, there is that story that one time, a long time ago, back when the MCU was, in its infancy, Kevin Feige was talked to Sony about working with Spider-Man, and someone threw a sandwich at him. There was that conversation. But I'm just like, this is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous. This really is ridiculous. But anywho, thank you for joining me on Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like and subscribe, and you have a better day than I'm having, because my day just got real fucking, just the hate, man. Just the hate. Fuck you, Sony. Fuck you in the stupid face. See you guys.